Hi, I'm Ashlyn, and welcome to this yoga for upper body strength practice. You might want to have two blocks for our practice today, but not required. We will start sitting down. So feel free to sit cross-legged, or you can sit on your heels. Just rest your hands down on your knees or your thighs, roll your shoulders back, sit up tall, and close your eyes. So right away, start to connect with your breath. Let whatever else is going on in your day, whatever happened before this, whatever you're doing later, start to let all of that fall away. Feel the subtle rise through the crown of your head with each inhale. Feel your shoulders drop with each exhale. With your next inhale, reach your arms out and up, palms together overhead. Exhale, draw your thumbs into your chest. So before we start to move together, this is going to be a very direct practice, no standing poses, all upper body strength work. So I want you to make sure you're taking extra good care of yourself. If you need to take a break or want to take a break, right? Not necessarily about doing everything I tell you to do, although of course I love to boss you around. I want you to do the best thing for your body, whatever that means. Okay, start to shift into Ujjayi breath, in and out through your nose. Lower your hands to your knees. Start to constrict the back of your throat so your breath feels longer and deeper and louder. Feel free to have your eyes open or closed. Next inhale, shrug your shoulders all the way up into your ears. Exhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together on your upper back and release. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, shoulders all the way up into the ears. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together, chest up, and then release. All right, so from your seat, interlace your fingers, and I want you to push your palms forwards. Try to drop your shoulders out of your ears. Notice if you need to push more through the pinky side or the thumb side of your hand. Try to make it really, really even. And then on an exhale, slowly start to work your arms overhead and see if as you do so, could you keep your front ribs knitted in so we're not making it a really big back bend. Try to reach up through your hands, huge breath in. Now as you exhale, tip your torso to your left. Spin your left underarm forwards. Inhale, come back up through center. Exhale, tip your torso to the right. Spin your right underarm forwards. Inhale, come back up through center. Exhale, arms forwards. Unclasp your hands, bring your hands to your knees. All right, now place your feet flat on the ground, hips width and parallel. And so this might be a place where you decide to grab your blocks. Sometimes it's helpful to have blocks or hardcover books underneath the hands. Place your hands down directly outside of your hips and spread your fingers quite wide. Now try to keep your hands just as wide, but slide them back so they're in line with your shoulders. And again, you could have blocks under the hands here. Now push down into your inner hand and lift your chest up. Keep that, lift your hips up. Come into reverse tabletop. Lift your hips up towards the line of your knees and your chest. You can look forwards, you can look up at the ceiling. You can gently relax your head back, but do try to look down at your cheeks if you're going to do that. Steady breath in. Exhale, tuck your chin, start to swing your hips back through the gateway of your arms. It's fine if your butt grazes the floor. Push the floor away, maybe lift your butt back up. And then inhale, come back up into reverse tabletop. And again, exhale, tuck your chin, swing your hips back through the window of your arms, and then lift your hips back up. Again, exhale, tuck your chin, swing your hips back. Inhale, lift your hips back up. Exhale, sit your hips all the way down. Cross your shins and come onto all fours. So a couple ways to do this. One way to do this is to turn the hands all the way around so your fingers are pointing back towards your knees. Now, if that feels too intense, then what you're going to do instead is have your hands facing off to the sides, inner wrists facing towards each other. And then just a couple rounds of cat and cow, connecting with the breath. So inhale, push into the tops of your feet, inner hand strong, lift your chest. Exhale, round your spine. And if you're prone to hyperextending your elbows, keep your thumbs bent and push into your thumb tips. Inhale, back bend, belly drops, top sternum up. Exhale, round your spine. And again, inhaling. Exhale, dome your back. Now turn your hands back around, come back to a neutral spine. Plant your hands down, shoulders width apart, index fingers parallel. Make sure your knees are directly under your hips. Curl your toes under, lift your knees 1 inch off the floor. Try to keep your knees just an inch off the ground. They might try to lift higher. Roll your inner thighs back. Make sure you're flat on the ground with your thumb and index knuckles on both sides. Reach out through the crown of your head. Feel your front body lifting to support your back body. Now, as the shoulder blades spread, can you also reach the top of your chest forwards? Now, step just your left leg back into a plank. So you're in this kind of half plank, half floating tabletop. Take a steady breath in. Bring your left leg back in, step your right leg back, half plank, half floating tabletop. Inhale. Now step back into plank, lift your hips up and back. Come into downward facing dog. Take a few moments in your down dog, sinking your chest back towards your legs, but keeping your forearms resisting away from the floor. Feel your outer upper arms spin away from each other, so the sides of the neck feel nice and long. Now with your next inhale, shift forwards into plank. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. And again, inhale, rock forwards into plank. Exhale, hips up and back. Downward facing dog. One more time, inhale, shift forwards into plank. Exhale, lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Now this time, inhale, shift forwards into plank. Now make sure your wrists are a little bit ahead of your shoulders here. Spin onto the outer edge of your right foot and reach your left arm up to the sky. Now you can do this with your feet stacked. You can stagger left foot in front of right. If you want extra support, bend your left knee, step your foot in front of your hips like a kickstand. Now try to keep your right arm straight. As you exhale, you're going to drop your hips almost to the floor. Don't let the right shoulder come up into your ear. And then push into your hand, lift your hips back up. And we'll do that again. Lower your hips almost to the floor. Try to keep chest parallel to the wall across from you. Lift your hips back up. One more time, lower your hips almost to the floor. Push down into inner hand, lift hips back up. Come back into plank. Second side, spin onto the outer edge of your left foot. You can stack, stagger, or step right foot in front of hips like a kickstand. As you exhale, drop your hips almost to the floor. Keep left shoulder out of ear, and then push your hips back up. And we'll do it again. Lower your hips almost to the floor. Lift your hips back up. One more time. Hips almost touch down. Now lift your hips back up. Now come back into plank pose. Good. So push the floor away from you. Spread your finger bones nice and wide. Now try to keep your midsection very stable. We're trying to work not to rock here. As you exhale, lower your left forearm down. Lower your right forearm down. Now inhale, left palm down, and then right palm down. Keep going. Right forearm down, left forearm down. Inhale, right palm down, left palm down, left forearm down, right forearm down. Midsection stable, left palm down, right palm down. Keep going. Right forearm down. Oh, I'm feeling this. Left forearm down, right palm down, left palm down. All right, you're very close. Left forearm down. I think that's the right order. Right forearm down. For good luck. Left palm down. Right palm down. This is the last one. Right forearm down. Now left forearm down. Stay here. Grab your biceps. Make sure elbows are shoulders width. Interlace your hands. Walk your feet in. Come into dolphin pose. So press your chest back towards your thighs. Push vigorously into your elbows so the shoulder blades lift and widen on your upper back. Good. Drive your heels down towards the floor. Now take a slightly longer stance, so about halfway back towards what would be probably your full down dog. And then with your next inhale, try to keep pushing into your elbows. Lift your head up, rock forwards onto the balls of your feet, and imagine you're trying to take a sip of water from a straw just in front of your knuckles. And then inhale, press your chest back to your thighs. Again, exhale, shift forwards, try to take a drink. Oh, you're so thirsty, it's right there. And then push your chest back towards your thighs. Do it again, keep going. Shift forwards, take a drink, and then press your chest back to your thighs. 2 more, shift forwards, take a drink. Press your chest back to your thighs. Last one, shift forwards, take a drink. Push your chest back to your thighs, and then come down onto your knees. Oh my goodness. Let's take a quick child's pose. Knees can be wide or together. Arms can reach overhead, or feel free to rest your arms down beside you if you want a little extra break for your shoulders. Stay connected with your breath. Feel the circulation around your wrists and shoulders and upper back and core. If you're ready for it, put your hands down in front of you. Come back up onto all fours. Now, in the interest of giving your wrists a little bit of a longer break here, come down onto your elbows and grab a hold of your biceps. So this is just to make sure your elbows are shoulders width apart. Now you can do this time either with your hands interlaced like we just did, or if your shoulders feel kind of more open today, you could also do this forearms parallel, palms facing down, or with a block in between your hands. Let's do it. Step back into forearm plank. So I want you to hold this here for a few steady breaths. Keep your gaze just in front of your hands. Push the floor away from you. Send your top sternum forwards. Now, could you slide your tailbone to your heels while also lifting the tops of your thighs up? Can you do both at the same time? I'm also trying to distract you with these cues because this isn't always the most fun pose to hold for a long time. Now, I want you to walk your feet out so that they're a little bit wider than they normally would be, almost to the sides of your mat. Keep both elbows down, swing your heels to the right. Take a breath in, reach your tailbone back in, and then lift your heels up and swing your heels to the left. So tailbone in, left side of the body lengthens. Come back to center, swing your heels to the right. Keep both forearms down, try not to stick your butt out. Bring your feet to center, swing your heels to the left. And come back in through center, swing your heels to the right. Last set. Come back up through center, swing your heels to the left. Come back up through center. All right, come on. Now swing your heels to the right. This time keep them staggered or stack your feet. Come into forearm side plank. Stretch your left arm straight up to the sky. Push the floor away from you. Lift your outer left hip up to the ceiling. But do you need to roll your left inner thigh back so that your hips are really square to the wall across from you? Big breath in. Exhale, switch. Come onto your left forearm. Either stagger or stack your feet. Come into side plank on your forearm. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Push the floor away from you. Send your right outer hip up to the ceiling. Shaking is fine. You're almost there. Big breath in. Exhale, come back onto your forearms. Drop to your knees. Come back up onto your hands. All right, last little bit of strength work here. You can do it. Let's get through this together. Step it back into downward facing dog. Now from your down dog, I want you to pick your right hand up, reach back and tap your left outer shin. And then you're going to put your hand down as you come forwards into plank. And then we're going to repeat that. So as you push back into down dog, pick your left hand up, tap your right outer shin, and then shift forwards into plank. And then again, press back down dog, right hand, left shin. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog, left hand, right shin. Inhale, plank. Keep your inner hand flat on the ground. Just a few more. Exhale, right hand, left shin. Inhale, shift forwards, come into plank. Exhale, press back, left hand to right shin. Inhale, press forwards into plank. One more each side. Exhale, tap the left shin. Inhale, come into plank. Exhale, tap the right shin. Inhale, come into plank. Here we go, you guys. 5 breaths, your last 5 breaths in plank. Keep sending top sternum forwards. Push the floor away from you. You've got this. Last 4. Can you keep your gaze very steady in front of you? It really does help when you're in plank. 3, 2, feel like your thumbs are trying to wrinkle the mat between them. 1 more breath. Exhale, elbows back, come all the way down onto your belly. All right. Go ahead and either hook your thumbs or interlace your hands behind your back. Bring your feet and legs all the way together or as close to it as you can. Next inhale, lift your head and chest. Pull your knuckles up and back, and then lift your straight legs up. Spread your toes, lift your chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. So a little bit of chest opening after all of that work. Also, your lower back and mid back, it's part of your upper body. It's important to keep it strong. Exhale all the way down. Turn your head to one side, maybe wiggle your hips a little side. Now just one more round. Bring your head to center. Hook your thumbs or clasp your hands with the other thumb on top. Feet and legs all the way together or close. Inhale, lift your head and chest. Pull your knuckles up and back. Lift your straight legs up. Lift your chest even higher. Use your arm strength to help you lift your chest, and then roll your inner thighs higher than outer thighs and spread your toes. One more breath. Exhale, unclasp, come all the way down. Turn your head the other way and wiggle your hips from side to side. Now coming up into a brief Sphinx pose, come onto your elbows. Walk your right hand forwards, pick your right elbow up, and then thread your left arm under the right, palm facing up. Now you can walk your right arm overhead and then try to put the left side of your head down on the floor, maybe on one of your blocks. If you have more space, you might try crossing the right arm all the way over the left for something that is appealingly named straitjacket pose. So you basically end up lying on top of your upper arms. Really great stretch for the delts, the muscles on the tops of your shoulders. As long as you can still breathe, in the second variation, you are welcome to put your chin down on your top arm. If anyone gets here and wants more sensation, you can also curl your toes under and shift a bit more weight onto your arms. Lift your head up, wiggle back and forth to get out, and switch sides. Walk your left hand forwards, elbow up, thread the right arm under the left, palm facing up. You can make a right angle with your arms, left arm overhead, or you can cross your left arm over the right and rest your chin maybe on the upper arm. And if you did so on the first side, you're welcome to try curling the toes under and shifting some weight onto your arms. And start to lift your head up. Shimmy back and forth to release the arms out. Plant your hands next to your chest. Curl your toes under. Next exhale, push yourself up onto hands and knees. Walk your knees in. Now flip your palms up this time with your fingers pointing back to your knees. Spread your finger bones nice and wide. You can keep your elbows bent. You can straighten them. If you still want more, straighten them while leaning back. And turn your hands over. Sit to your side. Find a seat. Place your feet on the floor, stretch your arms forwards, round your spine. Here is your last little moment of core work, I promise. As slowly as you can, come all the way down onto your back. And then once you're all the way on your back, go ahead and just stretch your legs out in front of you. Let your feet just plop out to the sides. Arms rest down by your sides, palms facing up. And close your eyes. So I'm going to recommend that you spend as much time here as you can, at least a minute if you can spare it, more if you can. That was a really intense practice, lots of strength work, lots of core work. So really important after we build that much fire to really give your body a chance to unwind and let all of your hard work settle in. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.